Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I'm your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Let's see what's been left behind.
Admiral Tuvok and Captain Kim are leading the analysis of the artifact you found on Vadwa Prime. I knew you'd want to be there for the great reveal, so I've arranged for you and your crew to be part of the team. Rendezvous with Voyager to get started.
I've decided to pull out the Miracle Worker cruisers. Note that I said cruisers. This is not a battle cruiser, despite its look. It is very much a cruiser. The first Klingon cruiser, in fact, with full cruiser commands and a cloaking device. And it can't mount cannons. Trust me, I checked. Okay, I kind of like that thing. It's a giant turret. It looks like a giant disruptor lance turret. Just, weep, surprise, disruptor blast from hell. But Star Trek Online is not as good as that, so... Now it's time for a guessing game. At least, once we get on board. Voyager's relatively close by, so... beam me over. Alright, let's talk to Tuvok and get started.
Welcome back to Voyager. We were about to begin studying the device you recovered from Gaul's communication center. Since you have spearheaded much of our efforts here, I would like you to take the lead once again. Captain Kim and 7 of 9 are at your disposal. Talk with them if you need more help deciphering the device. When you finish your analysis, return to me for further orders. I will be here in the transporter room to see you off.
Alright. 2 main engineering with us. Sheesh, these hallways are cramped. Having a firefight on them is never going to be easy.
Glad you're here. We transported the device to engineering here so we could run all the scans and tests we could think of. The first thing we need to do is determine how it's communicating. We can't find any normal transmissions from it, but we're hoping you have some new ideas to bring to the table.
I'm gonna skip through the hullabaloo and just get straight to the subspace fields.
The device communicates with subspace. We should have guessed that. Now comes the hard part. We need to access the device's memory core. The engineering team here on Voyager is good, and I've heard your team is top-notch, but it might take more time than we have for either team to make a full analysis. We should have both teams give you their opinions on the device. If we work together, hopefully we can make a breakthrough. You'll need to set switches on the device until we get solid readings. We'll be able to tell if switches are in the correct position, but not which switches. Good luck.
Switch flipping. Click, 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 click.
The engineers tell me there is only one switch in the correct orient. The engineering team...
Really? It was that simple?
Sir, I've consulted with both the engineers here on Voyager and your chief engineer. I am seeing green across the board. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have access to the primary memory core of the device. Unfortunately, we're only halfway there. Now we need to access the secondary memory core to get full access to the data we need.
Let's hope it's that simple again. Just click, 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 click.
The engineering team. The engineers tell me there is... The engineering team. Looks like you did it again. All the switches are in the correct position, and we now have full access to the memory core of the device. 7 of 9 should be of assistance in accessing the memory banks of that device. She's in astrometrics, attempting to get a fix on the location of who, or what, is receiving these transmissions.
Alright. This should be relatively quick.
We have access to the databanks of the device. Very efficient work. From the data we have received so far, we will be able to pinpoint the exact transmission coordinates. However, it is possible that doing so may alert whomever is on the other end that we have reverse-engineered their technology. There are 3 likely ways to get at the information. I suggest further analysis to determine the best course of action.
Ramifications. Encryption, apparently. And since it's in this system, well. Now to talk to our friend Tuvok.
Fascinating. Excellent work. With this location, we may be able to finally reveal who gave the Vaadwaur their advanced technology, and why the neuroparasites appeared again in this time and place. Commander Jirok of the Romulan Republic has requested to join you on this operation. Her own analysis of the device has shown that the Romulans have had some contact with the creators of this device, a race known as the Elachi. She will meet you in subspace at the given coordinates. Finally, Voyager's emergency medical hologram, the Doctor, will be assigned to your crew. His knowledge of the Delta Quadrant races may prove invaluable. He's not much of a combatant, but should prove useful.
Hello again.
Alright, let's get back to my ship. And begin Operation Kill All the Elachi. Ah, Elachi. Time to begin Operation Kill Everything in Sight.
Greetings. This is Commander Jirok of the RRW Lisette. When we learned that the Elachi were involved, I requested to shadow you on this mission. I know your experience with the Elachi is limited. The Romulan Republic, however, has an extensive history with this race.
Don't I know it?
All right, we'll follow your lead here. We're seeing 3 patrol groups. Recommend we eliminate them before we board the station.
That was cute, wasn't it? I mean, they tried so hard. But they failed so badly. What the? What am I missing? At least I know that didn't. Wait a minute. Now it's just me being unlucky.
Odd that Gaul was contacting the Elachi. They don't exactly play well with others.
Yeah, I suppose that's on purpose.
Another Elachi ship is here to defend the outpost.
Let's beam over to that station before things get worse. Commander.
I was thinking we should split up and cover as much of the facility as we can, unless you have a better idea.
And it's starting to lag out. This mission is notorious for that, mostly because of the gases from the Elachi's asses.
This is obviously an Elachi facility. What I know about them comes from the Romulan Republic's databases, but I should be able to learn more as we examine this location. The air here is suitable for the Elachi, which means that you may find breathing difficult. I, of course, do not have that problem. If you have an environmental suit, or even some sort of rebreather, you will be fine. If you don't, keep an eye out for something that could help filter out the toxins.
Done.
Good. You found the breathing apparatus. That should take care of that nasty cough.
Now to begin Operation Kill Every Elachi in the Room. Emphasis on every.
So many tables. I've read the Enterprise D's articles about them.
And mine. And these guys will be fine.
These are definitely Solanae tables. The Solanae kidnap victims through subspace for their brutal experiments. If they are somehow connected to the Elachi and the Vaadwaur, this is beginning to make more sense. If I had to guess, there must be a stasis room nearby. We should find it and rescue anyone in there who can still be saved.
Which is literally no one. Do, 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 die. Wow. I mean, I know the personal endeavor system has made me more capable of blowing things up, but I didn't know I was that capable.
It looks as if they are converting their captives into more Elachi. If my readings are correct, there are several individuals here who have only just begun the conversion process. We can save them if we beam them back to your ship.
Well, some I don't even want to save. For example, Kazon. Or Kobali. The Elachi are almost as bad as the Kobali. But at least with the Elachi, you don't remember anything. Even if it's kind of disgusting.
We're transporting you to a Romulan ship in orbit. You're going to be fine.
Why, you little... A Klingon? How'd they get into harm? Never mind.
This is no way for a proud Klingon warrior to go out. We'll patch him up immediately.
I gotcha.
Everything will be fine, Mr. J. We'll beam you directly to safety.
Really?
A Kazon? Even the Borg won't assimilate a Kazon.
Just show you how low the Elachi's standards are.
You'll be back on duty before you know it. One to beam up. Ah, a Hazari. Stay calm. We'll get you the medical attention you need.
And a Talaxian. We're done.
transport this Talaxian directly to sickbay. Well, the Solanae are definitely involved. I believe I have everything I need from this area. We need to keep moving if we hope to meet up with Commander Jirok. The door is unlocked now. We should keep going.
And indeed we shall. Hello, experimentation room. Oh look, more Elachi. It's almost like they want to die. You know, if it weren't for the sheer amount of lag. I have no idea where the hell I'm supposed to shoot.
This is odd. You sound like you're in a Solanae lab, but we're in some place that looks like a prison. In fact, I'd say that's exactly what it is. And they've just had a breakout. Whoever it was, they used our arrival as the distraction they needed to make their move. I'll keep looking for more information, but I hope the escapees are friendly.
I wouldn't count on it.
A prison break? Maybe I should go back to the ship.
Oh, you're not going anywhere, Doc. You're sticking with me.
Neural parasites. This must be where the Vaadwaur were implanted with those mind-controlling bugs.
Begin to download.
Neural parasites. Just as I suspected. Did you know that several Starfleet officers were infected by these in the mid-2360s? The Enterprise logs from that era are fascinating reading if you ever have a few dozen hours to spare.
Maybe later.
If Gaul and the infected Vaadwaur were communicating with this station, it stands to reason that this may be the facility where the bluegill implantation takes place. We should definitely investigate further. If we can find the implantation room, then I should be able to analyze their equipment and gather more information. I can't believe it. The empirical evidence is right in front of me, but I'm actually having difficulty processing this information. This tech, this whole facility, it's Iconian. The Iconians, as we know them, rarely reveal themselves. The only known interaction with an Iconian in modern history took place on Kronos, when... Wait, you were there! I don't need to explain that situation again. As I was saying, the Iconians don't like to act directly. They use servitor races, like the Elachi and the Solanae, to cause chaos in their name. And the neural parasites, they've bioengineered. Rather like the founders created the Jem'Hadar, but sophisticated enough to control another species, and with much less free will. The parasites are a weapon. When Voyager revived the Vaadwaur, their technology was outdated compared to what other powers in the Delta Quadrant had at that time. Even the Kazon outdid them. But now, Vaadwaur technology is cutting edge. The only way they could have advanced so far, so fast, was by allying themselves with someone else. With the Iconians. The Vaadwaur got their tech upgrades from them, but they also got the neural parasites. The parasites gave the Vaadwaur power, but they gave the Iconians control. They were ultimately the ones pulling the strings. This entire war has been against an enemy we didn't even see.
Yes, it was. Now, let's finish this war. I hate bluegills. Oh, look at that. More things for me to deal with. I hate flying bugs. Thank you. Scanny, scanny.
This is more like a factory than a laboratory.
Well, you don't need to tell me twice.
Some of this technology is ancient, but it's quite advanced.
You guys aren't getting any chances.
These parasites aren't a natural species at all. They look engineered.
I'm suspecting that earlier one was a bug. That the Iconian technology thing was meant to play in this room and not in there. Lovely. Well, I know the perfect solution. Nice freaking try. Your buddy's dead.
I think we're catching up with the escapees, and they might be from the Alpha Quadrant. We found a dead Romulan in prisoner garb. He was part of the breakout, but I don't know if he was part of the Republic, or loyal to the Tal Shiar. Keep an eye out. The prisoners are headed in your direction.
Maybe we should avoid any potential contact with the prisoner? I think I've seen enough combat for today.
Oh, you haven't seen enough. Let's see what the rifle looks like.
How fortuitous. I thought I'd have to find a way off this station alone.
Why did it have to be Sela? Fine, we'll do this the hard way.
More Elachi. I don't think the Iconians want me to leave.
Really, with the information you have, I don't think so either. Welcome to the army. I probably won't need you, but better to have than not.
Their tenacity is almost admirable.
Shooty, 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 shoot. Really? Are they just gonna make mushroom
Looks
puns?
like you could use a hand.
Yes, I could. I want to get this over with. I mean, no offense to the guys who made this mission, but the less I deal with Sela, the better.
And now we have their leader's attention.
And I know exactly how to deal with him. Gotcha. Commander, I know you're tempted, but you can't shoot her yet.
Sela! I should kill you where you stand. It will be justice for all the lives you've destroyed.
Oh, how tempting. But we don't have a choice.
And if you do, you'll never learn about the Iconians. I've been here for months. I've seen enough to know you need my help.
Barely.
Fine, you interrogate her. I might get a little carried away. But she returns with me to the Lisette when you're finished here. Sela is a prisoner of the Romulan Republic. Your government can go through official channels if they want to talk to her.
You and this Sela person seem to have some history. I'll leave you to speak to her.
Not so fast. You have the weapons, but I have the information. If you want to learn what I know, you'll need to keep those Romulan rebels under control. You've stumbled into something much greater than you're prepared to handle. I'm the best ally you have.
That's what you think. But they're not exactly rebels, since the Star Empire has fallen apart.
I assume you already know where you are. Both the Elachi and the Solanae serve the Iconians. The Elachi are their warriors, and the Solanae are their scientists. They're the ones who created those creatures implanted into the Vaadwaur. Hakiv joined the Iconians out of faith. He thought the Iconians would create an empire he could rule. That did not go as planned. This time the Iconians wanted to control their puppets. When the Vaadwaur asked for strength to defeat their enemies, the Iconians gave them the parasites. The Vaadwaur had strength, but also strings. Strings that have now been cut. I'm sure you had something to do with that.
Oh, but I did.
All three of you working together? The world has changed in my absence. Or were the Vaadwaur that much of a threat to the Alpha Quadrant?
Delta, actually.
That explains some things. I'd love an escort back to the world at large, but I have a feeling you have some questions first.
Actually, no. You answered all of them on the 2409 tune.
Will I be taken into your custody, or will I be left to Tiaru's tender mercies? Very well. It's not like I have a choice in the matter, do I?
No, you don't.
We have Empress Sela in our brig. When she was taken by the Iconians last year, many of my people thought she would get away with her heinous crimes against the galaxy. With her in my brig, I am happy to know that is no longer a possibility. Of course, I understand that the Romulan Republic's claim on her is not unique. Her crimes are against all of the Alpha Quadrant. To that end, I will ensure that she be made available to all the Alliance leaders for interrogation and debriefing.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I'd call a walk in the park. At least we know exactly how the Iconians were controlling the Vaadwaur, and you've certainly put a crimp in their plans. On the upside, as a photonic life form, I'm immune to any attempts at subversion by neural parasites. I'll see to the care of the captives we rescued. In the meantime, it sounds like you and the Romulan Republic Command have a lot to talk about. Sela certainly has a story to tell. But should we believe all of it? I'll put a bug in Admiral Janeway's ear about the situation. That was a joke, by the way. You're going to be busy. Don't overdo... Oh, who am I kidding? Command officers never take their doctor's advice. Just remember that you're not in this alone. Good luck. I suspect things are starting to get interesting.
Oh, they will. After we deal with the Kabali, but that's tomorrow. God, I hate Kabali.
Sela. And the Iconians. That I did not expect. It's a lot to take in. And while I'm sure the former Empress has some interesting stories to tell, I know the Romulan Republic will want her to answer for her crimes against her people. There will be some tricky back-channel negotiations before this all shakes out. I'll keep you posted as much as I can.
Housecoat Gaming, signing off.